Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we're bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Ooh, sir, how we doing? We're the American Red Devils, and we are recapping Manchester United's 1-1 draw against Real Sociedad. American Red Devils are abroad. We are in country, in San Sebastian, coming off bad performance. Not that unexpected from United, unfortunately. They kind of, expected something. Let you down, but United, I think, got a good result. Most importantly, the level of effort calls into questions about what's going on at the club. The morale seems to be off, but either way, I think for United, we're grasping for anything we can get. A big point in San Sebastian in Spain, where we've had bad luck in the past. I'll take it.
Look, when you come out and you watch United on the other side of the world, sir, fly all the way through Dulles to Lisbon, to San Sebastian, and you support this club even when it's in 15th place, just got knocked out of the FA Cup by Fulham, and you show up, they're worse than you think they are. In person, you get to see so much more detail, and it's critical, like as a American Red Devil, we make the trip every year, and you get to see it because I've never seen the body language this poor, a lot of arguing amongst the players, sloppy pressing, and all is very more apparent like in person, so the start was actually pretty poor for United. That being said, rough performance, good result. So while I have to say United are worse than we thought, and Onana is got to go and is very shaky at the back in person, I think it was a good result, and we got to find form in some way. We got to start scoring goals. Zirkzee with one. Zirkzee got a goal today. So at the end of the day, you gotta find the positives and just try to get a result against Arsenal. Like another draw against Arsenal would be a good result.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen this team rise to the opponent, fall down to the opponent. Today, the most frustrating thing today was that, the atmosphere was top-notch once again. Another night back-to-back with electric atmosphere, finding it in San Sebastian. But they were gettable. They were a gettable side, especially with our pace. We don't have a lot of it, but pulling Garnacho off raised some question marks as well. I just feel like that was a team that we could have gotten some goals, and that just speaks to, like you said, they didn't pass the eye test. You see it in person. It's brutal. It's brutal. There were moments of better, switching play, getting Dogu involved, and Garnacho made some good runs.
I didn't see those.
Zirkzee, I didn't see those.
I didn't see those.
Yeah, blacking it out. But you're reaching. I mean, you're reaching for positivity.
No, it was route one. I got a question for the manager. Why was the strategy against Real Sociedad route one Zirkzee? Route one Zirkzee ball. We don't need that. That was just bad. Højlund isn't getting on it. He can't hold it up. His touch is off. Zirkzee for sure isn't being a man for pace. That was the game plan. Also, Garnacho on the right, I didn't understand. So, questions from Amorim, but a good result. And unfortunately, we went up 1-0. I thought we could have lost it. So, if you want to go glass half full, the fact is we could have bottled it there. They had some real chances at the end of the second half. And Onana did stand tall, so credit to him. But quick PSA for the podcaster. We are on the road. And you got to check out our YouTube channel. American Red Devils on YouTube. Search it up, subscribe, comment down below. We also have a match day vlog we're dropping on our YouTube channel. We just covered the Benfica Barcelona match that we were at yesterday in Lisbon, which was phenomenal. Seeing great European football. Nothing better, but you got to check us out on YouTube, American Red Devils, youtube.com. Also, check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/American Red Devils. Tons of benefits, extra podcast episodes. Sign up. Also, check out our store, americanredevils.store. Get some merch. Help support the cause, the ARD fam, because it's been a rough year.
It's been a rough year, and the football is not doing us any favors. Great way to support the pod, like John mentioned, Patreon. Check us out on YouTube, subscribe. You can also write reviews. Write a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify. If you send a screenshot of that 5-star review to americanreddevils@gmail.com, I will personally pick back and ship some free ARD gear when I'm back in the States, right to your door anywhere in the world. It's a great way to support the pod. It goes a long way because, traveling for this team. What did Paul Scholes say? This team is not good for your health.
Yeah, Roy Keane.
He knows it. Traveling and watching this team is not good for your health.
Eating good food in San Sebastian and Lisbon is good for your health, and then United, maybe not so much. But, sir, you want to jump into the first half and kind of break down the key, or actually break down the starting 11.
Let's break down the starting 11. Let's talk about the walk-in. We got there maybe an hour plus out. Very surprised, actually, they didn't let you into the stadium until within an hour out. So that was a little surprising because that was a change of pace from Benfica. But there was a good atmosphere walk up. You could see all these tapas bars and bars that were just spilling out in the street. And there was a very good vibe in San Sebastian. Let's get into that 11, sir. It's the 3-4-3. What else? Onana in net. Back three of Maz, De Ligt, Yoro. Dogu on the left wing back. Delo on the right wing back, Casemiro and Fernandez in the holding role, Zirkzee, and then
Zirkzee.
Garnacho on the right. So, sir, give it everything.
Zirkzee must die.
What are your
Those
thoughts?
two
You
need
saw
to be.
that?
Those two need to be split up. Casemiro doesn't give me confidence, but again, it's Real Sociedad. It's the Europa League. Come on, lads. Can we step up? Can we remember that we're Manchester United?
We didn't look it.
No.
We were sitting in the game in the lead up, and they didn't look. I was laughing about it with you. It's like the the refs were like training and working, getting like what's it called? Warming up, like much more intensity than the Manchester United side. We've seen that before. I think some of the performances we've seen, but we got into that game. Not a lot eventful in the first half. I feel like United was like trying to figure out which game they're going to play. Do we play out the back? Do we lump it forward? There wasn't any action, no goals. I mean, I think there was like a couple moments. Garnacho had some opportunities in the box, but
there was also a really good Bruno chance that we couldn't convert right on the doorstep. We didn't concede too much to Sociedad. They did have that right-hand side of the pitch. They were kind of bombing down and crossing it in, but I'm going to say first half for United, I felt relief that we came out without conceding, and that was 0-0. Because usually, if you've been watching United, we usually give up a real crap set-piece goal in the 35th to 45th minute, and we didn't do that. So I kind of felt like, all right, if we can hang in there, we play better in the second half usually, and we can steal a result away.
And they were there to be had. I mean, I think like they probably weren't in their finest, or they're coming off a big game on the weekend. But like I think if a United side even like a little bit better, we could have been more productive in that first half. Going into halftime, so there's not a huge amount of bench.
Eriksen was the only option, really.
Right, Collier's coming back from injury. You're not going to be able to like play him 45 minutes. So, I think it was a little bit better in that second half. I think we a little more urgent on the ball. We're still too slow. We still take too many touches. Like I said, like sometimes we're bombing it along, up the pitch, like you said, Zirkzee ball, and at the same time we're trying to pass to the back. But
that strategy made no sense. Like a lot of cross-field passes that went out of bounds, a lot of breaks. Like the way to describe Manchester United in the first half was we couldn't press them or get the ball in their half, and we couldn't play out the back. And when you're doing that away from home, you're going to have a bad time. And that's exactly how it went, sir, until we got our goal, really.
And it was a nice goal. We needed that goal.
Yeah, so it was Zirkzee breaking the Zirkzee curse in the 57th minute. Great cross from Garnacho, hooked him up, and it was a nice finish. It was a good goal. It's what United needed. We were away, and then we're up 1-0, and then I'm nervy. I'm worried about Sociedad equalizing. I didn't necessarily see the VAR controversy right after that, but 70th minute, VAR, handball from hell. Bruno Fernandes goes up, hits his hand. It's in an unnatural position, but it's so close to the header being reflected off of the Sociedad player. So it definitely, as a biased Muppet, I'm going to say no handball. VAR screwed us.
I think it's a rough call. It's funny, you watching the game live, it's like nobody thought there was a handball, but if you dissect the game, you can find a handball. That was kind of amazing to see, a real VAR call. That I think was unlucky. Like you said, it's like the ball's coming down, his hand, it's a little raised, but they're jumping for the ball. I think they're searching there, but like, you mentioned, you're in Spain. You're playing a Spanish opponent. I know it's not Spanish refs, but
we have bad luck in
they're going to
Spain.
get calls, and they got a call.
Yeah, so in the stadium, it's even more varied. They don't show the replay. So it's just like VAR is on the screen. You have no idea what's happening. I thought it was like a red card for the challenge on Garnacho because I didn't even see anything related to a handball. I didn't even see the player's protest related to the handball. So another reason we got screwed, another reason that shouldn't have been a handball. But after the handball, it's kind of, United didn't really press on. Sociedad got into the game. Eriksen came on in the 78th minute. Lindelof and Collier in the 88th. I like seeing Collier out there again for Manchester United. Our midfield's light. We're playing Casemiro. He's out of shape. Looks like a liability on the pitch, to be honest, unfortunately. Loved him in his prime, but Casemiro ain't the old Casemiro. So that was it for United. It was 1-1. Whistle goes. We're actually happy to get a draw away at Real Sociedad. I think it's a good result. It's shit football. Don't like watching it. It's worse in person. The players yelling at each other. I saw Bruno Fernandes yell at every player on the team, and the players are yelling back at him. That's not good for the culture. That's not good captain behavior. And when you see it in person, it's like worse. Delo going back and forth at Højlund. Really, when that clear cross Delo should have hit to Højlund, they went back and forth at it. Those guys aren't getting along. They're not friends. This team looks like nobody likes each other. It's a team of individuals. The morale is low across the board. I think that's why we're as shit as this. And the manager, I have no idea how he's going to solve it.
No, he got thrown into a shit sandwich. It does feel like something's off. And obviously, like the level of play, the level of camaraderie we've seen on this United side has deteriorated over the last 5 years, even since like Ole. But it felt like they were going through the motion. In a game, European night, beautiful city. It's like, dude, a cup competition could turn the fucking season around. And the level of energy was like, I know they did play on the weekend. We played extra time, obviously. But we look cooked, bro.
Excuse factory. Let's go.
Just
Come on,
something.
let's
Hopium. I'm eating well
Let's
here.
go.
I'm eating so well here that I find hopium on the street.
There it is.
It's falling out
you
of the sky.
You thought the excuse factory was closed.
Like, they look leggy. They look leggy. No, there's something corrosive. There is something very wrong at United. I mean, we were in fucking 14th, 15th place in the league. Fired our manager, fired our director of football, and it just, you see it, and you can't hide it in person. It's just like, it's something just feels totally wrong. So United will take the draw. It's a good result given how we didn't really step up for the game. But the weekend, man, if we walk in like that, Arsenal take pleasure in it.
Let's put it this way: Arsenal are not these like big titans. They like bottled the title for the third year in a row. Obviously, we're relegation bound, Manchester United. But let's get into the stats. Sociedad XG. It was 1.76 for Sociedad. They did have the penalty, which counts for about 9. If you take that out, they're around 1.86. United 0.95. So not horrible from United away from home, but we've seen better in Europa League. We do remain undefeated in Europa League, so that's another positive as well. Sociedad had a little bit more of the ball in their house, but I think we're lucky to have a draw. What we created probably deserved a draw. How we played probably deserved the draw. I'm just glad I got to see a goal or two. It was tied and a great atmosphere. Shout out to all the Real Sociedad fans. They were class. Just unbelievable atmosphere. The away fans at United looked tired and not interested.
Tired of the season.
In the first half, you look up at that stand where we didn't get to sit with the away fans because you apply for away ticket allocation as part of your season tickets. We did. We got denied our ballot, so we had to go and sit with the Sociedad fans. But they were class and great atmosphere on them.
No, it was wonderful. Like, having that experience as a United fan, we were fortunate. We had some good seats. Even United, going through the motions, it's still a wonderful experience to be here, to be midweek. I know it's not Champions League. We saw that last night. That's got a vibe. Hans de France just does not hit the same way as those angelic voices. But United didn't play any better to get a win. Like, they didn't play well enough to get a win. So a draw feels fair. I just think we need to start, like, where's the spark? I don't know if there is a spark, but we need to find one, and we need to, like...
I think the spark is the end of the season. I think that's what the players are waiting for. And this is, as bad as it is now, if Ineos gets their shit together, there's a lot of deals that can be done. I think everything's in the air. You got Rashford's in the air. Anthony's in the air. A lot of deals can be done on the sell side that could help United acquire talent that this manager wants. If this manager can get to the end of the season, which I'm 100% sure he will, how he does it could matter. Like, if we start going on a little bit of a run, that could matter for the momentum in the locker room. So a lot to play for this season for Manchester United. But, sir, let's get into fan questions.
How are fans? The high morale? I'm sure, like, it wasn't very thrilling in person. I'm sure on TV it wasn't making a lot of people happy, but let's get into it.
At D_Cole18, how is Spain? Your seats look great. Won't happen because we're shit, but Kimmich on a free, bring back Pogba would transform this team next season. Which players have to be sold ASAP, and who do you think has the potential for Amorim at least 2 years for a rebuild? Like, who do you think has potential in this team? Like, who should we ditch? Who should we keep?
There's like a delineation probably between players who've been bought recently and age, and it's like I would basically bin everyone under like
let's
Pacific.
Let's say this summer window to like try to frame the question in a way where you have to pick names. I would say this window, who are the 4 players we must get rid of?
Some are going to leave on their own. Casemiro, right? Eriksson, Lindelof.
He's not going to leave though.
He's got 1 year left.
Yes. So you can't. So
he's a player that you'd love to be able to foist.
So Onana.
But he's one
Onana has to be dealt this summer.
Onana has to be dealt. Like, Lindelof has to go. He's going anyway. Delo. I hate to say it. Delo, like, it just feels off. It feels off. You ate 80 million. You don't sell Højlund yet. You have to, like, figure that out. But, like, who else you selling? You're selling...
I honestly think you'll loan him. I think Højlund needs a loan. He's not.
And this is the argument, like, today, I made it clear to me because I'm a huge Bruno fan, favorite player on the team right now. But like because of how bad it is, it's rotten to the core. And I think he's a good egg, but like bad situation.
I don't know. He's yelling at
Oh
everyone.
no, you gotta sell. You gotta sell. He should be sold, bro. He should not end his career at United. It's gonna end like unceremoniously, and you'll get some cash in. He's a valuable player. He would do very well in a lot of good teams. And I think we just have to be like that kind of mentality where it's like no, only like the Kobe's. You like to keep Garnacho, but he's gonna be on the block because of PSR. Who you got? Give me your list.
Here's the thing about Bruno. Is he a must get rid of? So I'm not. So I'm going to say number one, Bruno's not a must get rid of player. But I'm also going to say number two, I think Bruno's part of the problem right now in the captain role because he doesn't look like it doesn't look like you want to be his teammate. You know, and it's like that's okay if you're winning. You know, like everyone's seen the MJ doc. Like guy wasn't nice. They won everything. Bruno, we're losing everything, and he doesn't look like you want to be a teammate. Yelling at everybody. And it's not nice yelling either. It just seems like he's a lot to handle. Might add more pressure to the team when they kind of just need like a fresh start. I'm going to say Onana has to go. Delo, Lindelof, those are classic bluffers. For me, if you could deal Højlund looks to not even know what way is up right now. It's sad.
No, it is
Nobody
sad.
wants this. But again, ton of money, unproven. That's what you get. And the fact we're playing him every week and you're seeing it, it like, I don't know, something's going on there. It's brutal.
No, he's like young player, been thrown on his shoulders too much weight. He's crumbling underneath that weight, and any normal club would have like multiple strikers. It's like we have to play him every fucking game because we literally only have one number 9. So this is like a United problem. You overpay for an
When you
unproven
want Tottenham
talent.
strikes, you're in trouble. That's all you get. That's
There's like a
you're
variety.
you don't get Tottenham
Crystal
strikers.
Palace, we take their striker. We take
Mateta?
like half the strikers in the league because right now we got nothing.
All right, at KJL Joe, how was this trip to San Sebastian and how was the mood amongst the away fans? My thought, a match as anticipated could go either way in the next leg. Again, Garnacho seems like a player not happy to be at the club should he leave in the summer. So mood amongst the away fans, I think the traveling Reds were in great spirits. They're all pretty much ham-boned. We did not sit with them, but at the start of the game, they were pretty quiet, which was unusual. Usually the away Reds are ripping, but I think they felt nervy, and we did have a nervy start, so it did contribute to that.
No, we didn't exactly come out of the blocks hot, looking like fit and fire. And I think also, the atmosphere, the place contributes. It's like how San Sebastian, we're having a great time. I think people were eating, drinking, and then United's a big come down from that because the bar is set high
God,
here.
yeah.
That we're doing real well. We've eaten really well in the last 2 places, and I think people are like, "This is great," and then you go see United, you're like, "This is shit." Nice stadium.
No, the start.
It was
Start
more
of
fun.
the game was shit. After the Zirkzee goal, it kind of got good, but unfortunately
Second
that
half.
was a bad pen.
Bad pen.
Like I think we just talked about who should we leave in the summer, but do you think Garnacho seems unhappy at United?
Probably.
I think everyone seems unhappy. Who doesn't seem unhappy at Manchester United
the
these
same way
days?
Bruno is because they have high standards. Like Garnacho doesn't want to play for a shit
He
team.
doesn't wear it on his shoulder as much as Bruno, but
Bruno's
I just
so
feel like
emotional.
something's wrong in the locker room. And could you blame Garnacho if he wants to leave? You know, that's kind of how I feel. It's like you have to be a good place for players to go if you want to retain top talent. You know, that's part of it. It's like you got to recruit them, you got to keep them, you got to develop them. And are we developing Garnacho or are we ruining Garnacho? I mean, look at the case studies here.
Well, the problem is like we don't have any depth, right? So we end up like being in a position where the team is super patchy. We don't have a full squad, so you end up relying on certain players like far too much. Garnacho being one of them, with Højlund, Zirkzee. It's like all these players you have to play them too much. Delo, you have to play them too much, and it's not good because we have a shit ton of games and you need a proper squad, and we have been in cups, right? We had 8 fucking games in the group stage of the Europa League, so it's like doing that with a
Holy
patchwork
shit.
squad, trying to play a back 3 where you're like bombing up. It's like it looks like we're sleepwalking, and the season needs to end because that might be the spark, like you said, just like a refresh. Let Ruben like spend some time do the trip. That's always good. I think the preseason's like good. It builds camaraderie wherever it is. And we just need to get there. And like if we could have something positive happen like on the pitch, that would be a bonus, but I'm not counting on it at this point.
All right, last question here at Randy Scrandy L. Don't care who replaces them, but Garnacho and Højlund need to be benched long term. It's beyond ridiculous now. Højlund gives his all, and that amounts to absolutely nothing. And Garnacho runs around without a clue and then sulks when he's taken off. Time to be ruthless. I do agree it's time to be ruthless. I do agree it's time for Højlund to be benched. And as a Højlund fan, Alex has been defending him on the pod for a while. I've kind of been.
It made me sad.
He's more I've already put him in like bum fights category.
Everybody.
He's already been like a
bum fights category.
He's already been
You're
like tossed in
shelved.
the bum fights.
You've been
like,
shelved.
We talked to Alex, like, what does he do? He has a bad touch, can't hold it up. He like
shit he used to do last season he can't do now. Like he can't beat him. He used to
does
beat him at
not.
pace.
They play it in behind. He gets the ball, holds it up, then loses it. Nothing's coming out for that kid. You look at him. He looks like a pro. I don't know what's going on. Like
It's all
the
mental.
ball
It's
and
all
his
mental.
feet.
It's all mental.
It's not going that way. They're not passing it to him when he should. Like he's not getting the easy goals. But
He's not making the
it's
easy
not
runs.
working. So Hoyland should be benched. Garnacho.
He's
My
talented.
thoughts. He's young. He's talented. If I had $1 for every time he hit the side of the net this year, I'd fucking lose it. Like I'm a Garnacho fan. I'm like, what the?
He had
fuck?
2 of those today.
It's like his finishing is
He's
atrocious.
young. He's
His
young.
finish,
He's young.
I agree,
He's
but
young.
he got the goal. He made the move,
he
passed
was.
the ball to Zirkzee. So like
He was our best attacking player today.
Garnacho isn't the problem. He's not the solution. But right now, he's not the problem. That's my view. But Hoyland should be benched. 100%.
No, he has to be benched. The problem is like you put Eriksson, you push someone forward. It's like the squad, the thinness is killing us. It's like you can't even give these guys a rest. They're all young. They're getting driven to the ground. It's like a little bit structural. We have major structural issues. And then you have Casemiro that shows up like once every 5th game and gets paid $350 a week. It's like the place is a fucking mess. Shit's burning. And I don't know if there's going to be anyone that's like unsellable. Maybe Kobe, just because they have to keep an academy player. But I think it's going to be like fire sale at United.
Great. All right. That's it. That's the podcast from San Sebastian, ARD on the road. Sir. 4 cities, 6 days, 4 games, the gauntlet. Check out our YouTube channel, America Red Devils on YouTube. We're doing a vlog for all the different games and all the different cities we've been visiting. It's been an absolute blast traveling Reds, hoping for a big win against Arsenal, and we'll see you on the other side. Sir, great.
That's good shit.